This movie Dolemite, man, a good classic. I have to say, man, this is probably arguably one of the best movies I've seen on Netflix, man. Even just in general so far. I mean, this is a really one of the good 1970s, good tribute to Rudy Ray Moore and his legacy. And what I really loved about this movie is the development of the character. So with Eddie Murphy, man, he was just you want to be entrepreneurial. He was a comedian. He's praised at this struggling comedian, but he knew he wants to do something with his own, have his own brand, his own legacy, and he was just really starting off just writing jokes, trying to perfect his craft on doing that, just working with other people in the neighborhood, and his persistency really allows him to be very successful and have those creative juices to actually create a network of team. And once you see it in this film, you seen that how he really developed into getting other people on his side, just utilizing his why he wanted to be successful, because he came from Arkansas and it was just nothing, no good memories from there. And they did had another powerful scene with him talking to, I believe, his mother, and how she was just wanting to know when he's gonna go back home. He stated, "I will not go back home because there's no good memory." So he said, "F going back home." I thought that was a good scene right there, man. It was just pretty much down to earth, and it was just pretty much like getting to the getting to the nitty gritty of things, so like why he's had that strong ambition to be successful. So after he obtained the $250 of the money to start his own gig, and his own comedy gig, just being a host and everything, hosting for other bands, but he knew deep inside that he can be something special. And and in his 40s, 50s, man, just sitting there like, man, like just wondering, dreaming. And they really have a good correlation of the dreamers and those who actually put their dreams into action. And as he started, getting some type of inspiration, going to a movie theater, noticing that, in order for me to be something in life and people to know my name, they have to see me on that screen. And it just really went into detail. It was just more characters being developed in the scenes, man, and it's how he really established great network marketing skills, man. And with this film here, I kind of relate to it a little bit, as far as like his tenacity and him being tenacious, because it's countless of people that will say that you can't do something in life, but he did not use that as defeat. He used that as fuel. And it was a powerful statement somebody told me that was like, you will stop making mistakes when you don't try. And you got to go out and do things, man. He didn't have no type of knowledge or skills on how to make a movie, but he knew that if he made a movie of his own site and his own committing skills, and he get the right personnel, that everything, this whole project will all come together. And I just like how he got the screenwriter, he got the culture of it. He just talked about how he was going in and out of nightclubs, meeting women, and just his whole life, and he built it up into his life story. And this is based on a true story. Like, even though Dolomite might not be like the classic film, I mean, I guess a classic film, quote unquote, on white Hollywood, but it was something very unique because he put his heart and soul and his passion into this film. And this is what Eddie Murphy, was pretty much displaying in this whole character. I believe this was, I don't know if this movie was directed by Craig Brewer, but this was really decent, man, because this was a really do a 1970 film, like him, even though he grossed like $10 million, man, just going bankrupt and just really putting all his all into it. And this is why I really enjoyed this film. It was witty, it was smart, and it wasn't nothing too overbearing. It wasn't just doing too much. Everybody had their own steps. Wesley Snipes was being the director. It was kind of like conniving in a way, and that was the type of relationship that Rudy Ray Moore had, one of the directors there. That was a big shot, and it really didn't perfect his vision. They didn't really see nothing about his vision, but he did not let that stop him. He knew at the end of the day, in order for him to make a mark on this earth, he's gonna make a film of himself, and he gonna have his friends in it. And bro, man, just getting the whole production, just the whole stepping stone of the Act 2 and Act 3, and how everything started wrapping together when they was reading critics and just bad criticism from their movies on a way to their premiere. It was it showed like the relationship he had and he developed with that team, just him being consistent. He said, if my crew member is hungry, I'll go down and stop and make a sandwich. Need a place to stay, they go here and crash here. I will make it everything possible to make it feasible for this movie to be produced. And that's pretty much one of the boss move here. It's very entrepreneurial. I would actually encourage any young black men to actually go ahead and watch this film here, because this is very entrepreneurial here, and that he did this in a comedic way, man. Just making a comedy movie, doing kung fu, just it's just like amazing, man. And I gotta say, Eddie Murphy's pretty back, man. He's back with his movies here. But this, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was gonna be a little bit cheesy here, but I actually seen some type of reviews here, and of course, I like the one. They really made one in the '90s too as well, but the original one in the '70s was really great, man. Even the police chase scenes was very vivid. Things was cut to the T. Mike Epps had he did his great role there, man. That's a supportive cousin. You had the homeless man in the beginning just causing ruckus at the store. Snoop Dogg was doing his thing. Having Chris Rock, who we ever played in the radio, and just his voice and his narration, it's just everything collectively came together. So with the Dolemite movie, I had to give this movie an 8.9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie, man. This could have been in theaters, but this was a freaking amazing, man. And if you have a dream, just go ahead and go for it. And all because even if you fail, at least you tried. That's all that matters, man. And that's gonna help grow. That's gonna help you build, and because you getting out of that realm of just putting things in motion. Like motion, you're just doing meaningless work or busy work, you say, but it's not producing results. Like you try to go to the gym and be healthy, right? You put that in motion when you're reading books about it, but you're not actually putting it into action and physically going to the gym. So, or you having appointments, making appointments with physical trainers, but you're not actually following up with them, actually physically going to the gym and doing exercises. So it's a difference between motion and action, and our brain works a little bit better, and you get more satisfaction and endorphins when you put things in action. That's all it means. But it's just the grind and the endurance, and him just being shot down many times, and just people say he's not gonna do it. He's not. No one's not gonna be in his corner, but he still used that as fuel to accomplish his dream. And I think that's just what you really need to have. You need to have that grit spirit to get where you need to be. And this what this movie pretty much displayed here. Dolomite, excellent movie. I love the film. Go ahead and watch it. This your boy Young Jr. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button. You want all the notifications every time I upload a video. Please email me at rodney9312@gmail.com. You guys get a chance. I appreciate it. Love y'all. Y'all take care. Deuces.